Now for what's trending in true crime, the search for two missing Georgia firefighters has come to a tragic end. The bodies of Reagan Anderson and Chandler Kuhbander were recovered in Tennessee on Sunday. The two were last seen in Georgia almost a week ago. And Chandler's mom spoke to us here on Opening Statements on Friday. She told us about Reagan's toxic reaction to Chandler going out on a date.
And she found his car and where they were at and came and keyed his car while he was on the date, and he called the police. She subsequently went to jail and bonded out on her own, but during that time she was calling and texting my son because she's terrified for her to lose her job. They are great firefighters. This is just, she's not in the right headspace at all.
Now, we reached back out to Jane Kuhbander after hearing about Chandler's death. And although she says she's not ready to speak, she hopes that her son's death draws attention to the stigma of abuse on men, referring to emotional abuse. Our question this morning, the biggest red flags in the case of Kuhbander. Let's bring in our guests. Joining me now, retired FBI Special Agent Jennifer Coffindeffer, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Franz Borchardt, and retired criminal defense attorney Kirk Nurmi. Great to see you all. We heard about the toxicity, the red flags. Mom Jane knew it all. She had the bad feeling, and sadly, she was right. As we look at this case and looking at it objectively, I want to ask each of you the things you saw as the biggest red flags here. Agent Coffindeffer, would you start us off, please?
Yeah, absolutely, Julie. Thank you for having me. First of all, anytime when you have a relationship that begins with threatening, threats and instability and verbal assaults and accusations, the things that we've been hearing about that occurred in this relationship, and then you have it followed up with something physical such as that key strike against the car. That's when things start getting elevated and that person is willing to take a physical offense toward the person that they're angry at. So to me, that was the biggest indication of serious trouble afoot.
Yes, yes. Kirk Nurmi, to you next, please. A lot of people wondering if we're going to see results from this investigation indicating a murder-suicide. Your thoughts on that possibility, please.
Well, that's certainly possible given what we've heard. Like Jennifer mentioned, the acts of violence is that crossing of the line, that someone is willing to break the law. I think we see a lot of these people, when we talk about red flags, their identity becomes so consumed by the relationship that they fear the end of the relationship is really going to be the the end of who they are. So that's certainly a possibility that needs to be explored, and I don't want to speculate at this point in time, but at the same time, yes, that crossing the line into violence, it makes it seem like that's certainly a very good possibility, Julie.
Right, Kirk, thank you for that. Last but certainly not least, Franz Borchardt, want to go to you on this. What are you thinking about this morning as we get into this investigation?
What I'm thinking about is how preventable this is, right? And it's becoming more and more normal, Julie, and that's the scary part, right? It's becoming more, we're seeing headlines of toxic relationship leads in this, and it shouldn't be normal. It's very preventable, and maybe if there's any kind of value in what's happened to these two individuals is we can all have a little bit deeper conversation with those we care about that are in toxic relationships to say, hey, look, there is a way out. You can get out. It doesn't have to end this way. And this is what is sadly happening around the country right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Franz. Great point. Before we end this discussion, if you or someone you know is in crisis, please call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.